Hi, my name is Kaylee Craig. I am a recent graduate of Anderson University. I majored in elementary education and I will be licensed for grades K through 5. I also had 2 minors, the first one being in dance and the second one being in special education. I will also be licensed in special education as well. Today I'm going to be talking about the INTASC standards and things I know about them, things I believe about them, and things that I am either doing right now while I'm working with children or have done in the past. So for the first standard that I chose, I did standard number 1, learner development. Some things I know about learner development is that everyone's going to learn differently. Not all students are going to be the same by far. Everyone's going to walk into your classroom and be at a different level cognitively as well as emotionally and socially. Students are going to grow at different rates, and they're going to follow different paths, and you as a teacher need to be able to adjust your curriculum and your teaching to adapt to that. Some things I believe about learner development is that I believe every student deserves to have their teacher adapt their learning to fit the student. I don't think students should have to fit the teacher's learning perspective because everyone's going to learn differently. That teacher is going to learn differently than student A, B, and C in their classroom, and student A, B, and C also deserves to have a curriculum that fits themselves. Some things that I've done in the past with this is working in different practicums at AU, having to adapt lesson plans for students who might be higher achieving than others. Those who are on the typical playing field are going to fit right along with that lesson plan, and then you always have to plan for those that might be a little behind, might need a little extra push. Some other things that I've done within the learner development content area is I've worked in multiple daycares and having to do preschool prep with kids. You have to really see where that specific student is at and what's really going to benefit them at that time point. The next standard I picked was standard 2. This is about learning standards. Some things I know about this are that some will be above the learning standard that you are at, some are going to be typically functioning, and some are going to be below or not functioning on that level at all. Every student is going to come in there on a different level. You have to be able to be prepared and to adapt to that student's level and be able to teach them what they need to know to either be caught up or to be right on track or to be a little bit above that track. Some things I believe about that is that students deserve to have a teacher that is willing to teach them specifically, not just sit and lecture to a class. They need to be able to be walking around, monitoring, making sure that everyone is understanding and is up to date on what they're doing. And if someone needs a little extra help, either maybe getting a teacher's aide to help them, getting them some resource room time, one-on-one with a teacher, small group instruction, something like that. Some things I've done with this are through working with my preschool prep kids over the last few summers. I have had to do small groups with them. Sometimes we would do large group instruction that would then evolve into small groups and then to partners. Some kids needed one-to-one with working on handwriting skills, or gross motor function was a big one, learning how to not be so clumsy when we're doing different things in the gym class time, or fine motor skills, learning to hold a pencil and things like that. Some students picked up on that very quickly, and that was amazing for them, and I was very proud of them for that. But I know I had some students that needed to sit down with you one-to-one, learn how to hold the pencil, maybe get the little grippies out, and I was equally as proud of them, if not more, because they had to push that much harder to get there, but they always get there. So as a teacher, you just have to be ready to adapt your learning standards to the student. The third standard I picked was standard number 3, learning environments. Some things I know about this is that students need a safe learning environment that they're going to feel comfortable enough to come into every day and let their guard down and learn in. I also know that it is a teacher's job to create that learning environment, whether they're given giant funds from the school to do that, or if they can just do what they can with what they have. Some things I believe about this is that students deserve to come into a safe space every day and leave their baggage at the door and see you as a safe person to go to, whether that be with academic troubles, social troubles, emotional troubles, family things, you should be a safe person for that child to come to and be able to learn in that environment. Some ways that I am able to implement this and have implemented into different classrooms in the past is having a safe space, like a safe corner. Sometimes it's called a 5-second corner, things like that, where it's a secluded corner of the room. Students are able to walk back when they need a break or they're overstimulated or they just need to walk away for a couple minutes. They set their timer for, normally it's about 2 to 3 minutes. There's some calming sensory things back there. There's some short books, things like that. And there's ways listed on the wall or the corner, wherever they're at, that tells them different strategies to calm themselves down, regain the composure that they need, and then when their timer goes off, they go back and rejoin the class, having had different techniques given to them to self-soothe in order to come back into that safe space. The fourth standard I picked was standard 4, content knowledge. Some things I know about this is I know that teachers really need to know what they're talking about when they're teaching students. We don't want students to walk up to their next teacher the next year and say, oh, well, Miss So-and-so taught us this way, and then have that teacher come to find out that you were wrong. So knowing the content very well yourself is always good. But some things I believe about content knowledge and teacher understanding of it is that teachers need to be able to show their students that they are lifelong learners as well. For example, I've had students come up to me and ask questions that I might not have known the answer to. And I like to take that as a learning opportunity for both myself and the child by showing them and telling them, hey, I'm not really sure what this answer is. Let's go look it up in this book, or let's go look it up on the internet and see what we can find. I feel that that really shows the child that not only are you a lifelong learner and you're willing to continue to learn even though you're an adult, but that even adults make mistakes and even adults don't know the answers to everything. And that's why it's so important to be a lifelong learner. So my fifth standard, the last standard that I picked for this video, was application of content. Some things I know about application of content is that teachers should be able to connect students and engage students. They are the ones that are going to get students riled up and thrilled about going and learning about ancient Greece or something in STEM or something in mathematics or even the arts or something like that. They're in charge of really getting students applied into that. Some things I believe about that is that I believe teachers are the first source for students to get information from. Teachers spend the most amount of time during the day with their students, even compared to parents sometimes. And by giving students real-world examples and connecting it to their real life, we are able to not only engage them in that moment, but create lifelong learners along the way. Some ways that I've done this is using different types of learning materials, maybe sometimes using different technologies, using the overhead board, letting students come up and use the smart board, using the projector to show videos. Even farther than that, going and getting them up and moving around the classroom really engages students. It lights up different parts of the brain, gets them moving, makes them think and act at the same time. Even doing more hands-on learning, like different projects, different art models, things like that. Working in small groups, pairs, even one-to-one, and the list could go on and on and on. These are all things that I've done with kids in the past, working on what we can do to get them engaged, asking them flat out, what would you like to do in the classroom? We're going to have a unit on so-and-so. Do you think you would learn better this way, or this way? And giving them a structured environment still, but giving them the freedom to maybe choose here and there what they think would work best for them. So in this video, I talked about 5 of the 10 INTASC standards for Indiana teachers. This has been some things I know about them, some things I believe about them, and some things that I have done in the past and I'm doing right now with them so far. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.